Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, John Hughes envisioned and created many memorable movies like 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. After passing away in 2009, Hughes left a huge legacy of films and is now considered a sort of legend in the industry, especially when it comes to coming-of-age films. Here's a look at what John Hughes accomplished over the years as a writer, director, and producer. National Lampoon's Vacation. This road comedy film written by Hughes from 1983 starred Chevy Chase and was a box office hit for Hughes, spawning 4 sequels over the years. 16 Candles. Sean's directorial debut, released in 1984 starring Molly Ringwald, was an instant success and received praise from pretty much everyone. This would be the first in a line of many successful teenage movies from Hughes. The Breakfast Club. Just a year after his directorial debut came this classic movie that has since been selected for preservation in the US Film Registry for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This was one of 6 films on which John Hughes directed, produced, and wrote. Hughes wrote the script in less than a week, and it was his love letter to Chicago, where most of his films take place. I really wanted to capture as much of Chicago as I could, not just in the architecture and landscape, but the spirit, Hughes said. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Wanting to branch out of teen movies, Hughes wrote, directed, and produced this comedy starring Steve Martin and Hughes' good friend, John Candy. The Great Outdoors. Released in 1988, this summer comedy starred Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. Uncle Buck. Another classic starring the late John Candy is also another of Hughes' 6 films, in which he wrote, produced, and directed the movie. Home Alone. A staple in Christmastime movies, this classic starring Macaulay Culkin was conceived by John Hughes while he was getting ready to go on vacation. I was going away on vacation and making a list of everything I didn't want to forget. I thought, well, I'd better not forget my kids. Then I thought, what if I left my 10-year-old son at home? What would he do? The success and praise for the first film inspired the sequel Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, as well as 2 other films later on. While there are many other great films that came from the mind of legendary John Hughes, these are perhaps the most well-known and most successful of his films that we all love to rewatch.